Okay, we have a Kenwood cassette deck here, model KX-W892, and it looks like the engineers forgot the most important thing for fire prevention. They did not put a line fuse in this unit for overcurrent protection. As you can see, the line cord goes straight from the wall into the power transformer without any overcurrent protection. So this is what your standard house fuse looks like inside. See how large that filament is? And here's the fuse that we're going to be putting in the tape deck. See how fine that filament is? If something were to go wrong with the tape deck, the power transformer could overheat and possibly could melt the cord and start a fire. While it's taking time for this large filament to blow, it will blow this tiny little filament in this fuse here that we're going to put in. And the circuit breaker here is the equivalent to your 15 and 20 amp house fuse. Okay, so first we'll disconnect this here. We're going to use a solder pump. And we'll pull this back. And we'll lift this up off of here. Keep that up. There we go. Okay, we'll take our fuse block here. We'll sand it so we get a good flow through onto it. Okay, we'll strip a little piece of wire off the cord side here. We'll use our rosin flux. Okay, so we're ready to solder this in. We'll take and twist our strands together here. We're going to use some rosin core solder. So first I'll put my strands in through the hole here, make sure they're all through the hole, and see how that one came out. So I'm going to pull that back through, twist it. Look, make sure they're all through. I'll take my pliers and flatten it down some. Get some flux here. I'll put some flux on the terminal. Put some solder on my iron, and I'll heat the wire and the terminal. I'll get a nice flow. There's a real nice flow there. I'll let that cool. And then we're going down here, and this is going to come from up here. So I'll strip this piece of wire here. I'll twist my strands together. Again, I'll put it in through the back here. I'll make sure that no strands are poking through. Okay, no strands are poking through. Oh. Okay, I have to twist them together here again. Put them in through the bottom. I'll look, make sure no strands are poking through, and they're not. I'll flatten this with the pliers here. I'll take and put some flux on the copper and on the terminal there, put some underneath. Put some more solder on the tip of the iron there. I'll heat both the wire and the terminal. I'll get a nice flow there. Okay, that came out a little grainy, so I'm going to hit this again. I'm going to put a little more flux there. I'll clean my tip there. I'll put a little more solder on my tip. And I'll just reheat this again. There we go. That's a nice clean solder there. I don't like how that came out on the bottom, so I'm going to put a little more flux on here, put some up here and some down here. And I'll heat it from the bottom and see if I get a better flow through. There we go, there's a real nice flow. And let that cool a bit. Okay, there's a nice flow through on both sides there. Now we can strip this here. We'll strip it about right there. I'm going to go down under here. I'm going to go around this. I'm going to turn it clockwise. And I'll take my pliers and get it all in there nice and all the strands in nice and tight. Okay, I'll take the solder, the flux here, I'll put some flux around it. Okay, now I'm going to put a little solder on my iron here. I'm going to heat this. And there's a real nice clean solder joint. How let's get a little bit more on the top there. There we go. Now we have a real nice clean solder joint there. Now that I'm done with my iron, I'm going to tin it to put it away and store it. Okay, so I'm gonna bend these up some here. And since this is a metal chassis, we have to put a piece of plastic underneath it here. This is a divider that's meant for isolating electrical parts from energized parts from the chassis. I'm just going to see how well it's going to fit in there. Okay, I'm just going to finish this off so it's a nice even cut. Okay, and I like to put some electrical tape under this here to give it a little extra protection. And I put the tape on the bottom. Okay, I'll cut this tape off here so it's even with the plastic piece. I'll press it down so it's all nice and flat. And we'll put our hole in the middle here. I'm going to use a knife. I'm going to just get it right in the middle there, and I'll just push it through there. Cut it off on the bottom there. Yeah, I'm going to put the tape facing down, and I'm going to put the screw. Oops, I have the wrong screw. I'm going to put the screw through there, through this. Okay, I'm going to put a zip tie around the wire here, get the wire truss taken care of. And we'll put our half-amp fuse in here. I'll make sure this wire is clear of the cover screws. When you put the top back on, they don't hit anything. There's a close-up of it all done. Thanks for watching. Only do this if you consult an authorized service center, because if it's done incorrectly, you can create a fire hazard or a shock hazard. This is the front of the unit. Here is what the mechanism looks like for the tape heads and the pinch rollers. This is the one on the left side. Here is the one on the right side. There's a close-up of the soldering on the fuse block. And there's my soldering on the board.